The movie starts with a girl named Holly talking about herself, saying that she's invisible, nobody can see her or hear her, and that's been happening ever since she was a little kid. It all started suddenly. She goes on living her life and describes her siblings. She has a younger brother named Troy and a sister named Venetia. She says she's a completely normal girl, but everyone at home ignores her all the time except for her mom, who loves her so much, encourages her, and helps her with everything she does. One day her mom gets seriously ill, and the doctors assure them that after the treatment she'll get even better than before. But unfortunately, her mom dies shortly after, and from that moment everything in Holly's life changes. She starts noticing that everyone keeps ignoring her at home. One day while she's sitting and eating with her family, her dad starts asking her brother and sister how their day at school went, but he forgets to ask her anything. She gets really upset and tells him, "You didn't ask me about my day like you asked them." And as time passes, people begin ignoring her more and more, not noticing her at all. At school, when the teacher asks if anyone has a question, she raises her hand and tells him she has one. But he doesn't see her or hear her, like she isn't even there. After several months, Holly disappears completely. No one sees her or feels her presence anymore. One morning she wakes up late and gets frustrated because no one woke her up for school. She talks to her siblings, but no one looks at her. It's like she isn't even in the room. She goes to her dad and talks to him, and she's shocked when she grabs his hand and he jumps back in fear, asking what touched him. He has no idea what's really happening, and none of them can sense her at all. When they take a family picture, Holly doesn't appear in it. She's shocked and can't believe that truly nobody can see or hear her, that she's completely invisible. Nobody remembers her or even mentions her. Eventually, she learns to adapt and accept this new reality, and it becomes normal for her. As she grows older, she moves into her own place, far from her family. She works in a strange job, snapping inappropriate photos of celebrities and selling them to tabloids that publish scandals, causing these people huge problems. Every now and then she visits her family just to check on them. Troy loves filmmaking and creates short movies, while Venetia gets married, and their father changes his old job and becomes a real estate agent. The family has a tradition of gathering every Friday night and eating their favorite food together. Holly goes there on that day, but she doesn't sit or eat with them because they can't see or feel her, and that causes her deep pain. And since no one can see her, she takes advantage of it. She goes wherever she wants and does whatever she wants. Sometimes she even walks around without clothes, breaking all the rules and doing whatever she pleases. One night she goes to a casino to take some pictures she can sell. She follows two people and photographs them in a compromising situation. Blackwell sees her taking the pictures, grabs her, and throws her out. She's stunned to discover that he can actually see and hear her. She tries talking to him, but his coworker shows up and says the manager wants him, so he leaves. Holly thinks for a moment that maybe everyone can see her now, but when she approaches people and talks to them again, they ignore her like always. No one sees her except him. The next day, she visits her mother's grave and tells her everything that's been happening, that one man managed to see and hear her, but no one else can. She remembers her moments with her mom and asks her what she should do now and what will happen to her after her mom's death. In her memory, her mom comforts her, telling her she'll always be by her side and will come to her anytime she needs her. When Holly returns home, she flips through the newspapers she has and suddenly spots a picture of Blackwell with a woman in a compromising situation, and it's the exact picture she took of him. Then she realizes he wasn't just a security guard at the casino. When she searches for him online, she finds out he's a world champion boxer who spent his whole life winning big titles and defeating the greatest fighters he ever faced. She also learns that he was married to a woman named Juliana, a famous artist, and they lived a fun and glamorous life together. But when that picture of him spread through the tabloids, their relationship fell apart, they got divorced, and his life turned into hell. The fans who once loved him now hated him, and on top of that, he started losing all his matches. At that time, Black gets kicked out of the gym, and his life falls apart even more. That same day, Holly takes the newspaper and runs into him again. She admits that she was the one who took that picture of him without him noticing. He gets furious, throws the newspaper on the ground, and says, "Why are you telling me this now, after that picture ruined my whole life?" So she starts telling him the truth about herself, that she's invisible, and no one can see or hear her except him. She offers to try to fix something in his life after the damage she caused. He walks away, still confused about what she really wants. She follows him and tells him she'll go with him to his manager, and promises she'll help him. And if she really can help, she'll leave him and never bother him again. They both go to see the manager, who of course doesn't see her at all. That's when Black realizes the manager can't see or hear Holly. The manager offers him a job for $800, but Holly steps in and says the agreed price was $1,500. Black immediately asks the manager for $1,500, and the manager agrees. When they leave, Black is stunned and tells her, "You need to tell me what's going on." She tells him again that no one can see or hear her. To prove it, she stands in front of a car speeding toward her and says, "If the driver sees me, he'll stop." Black panics and tries to pull her out of the way, but she refuses. Right before the car hits her, Black rushes in and drags her aside. The driver stops, yelling at Black, thinking he was trying to throw himself in front of the car, since he can't see Holly at all. That's when Black finally believes she was telling the truth. Afterward, Black tells her to come to his place the next day if she really wants to see him again. The next day, Holly goes to him and tells him that when she was young, she was completely normal. Everyone could see her, hear her, and talk to her. She encourages him and tells him he's a powerful fighter who can beat anyone. She just wants him to let her help him so everything can go back to normal. He tells her he has a fight coming up and wants her to watch. After he wins the match, the manager only gives him $300. Holly tells him he needs to challenge big, well-known fighters so he can earn more money. But he says none of the famous fighters would accept a match with him because nobody knows who he is. She asks him for a list of all the famous fighters he knows, and he gives it to her. She finds a fighter named Suarez and discovers he's using drugs. She sends him a message threatening that he must agree to the fight, or she'll expose him. Suarez is forced to accept. Holly meets Black afterward and tells him the news. He can't believe it and asks how she pulled it off, but she refuses to explain. She tells him he just needs to train hard and get ready. Black starts extremely tough training sessions, and when the fight day comes, he easily defeats Suarez. Holly watches everything on TV. Black's manager tells him he's going to raise his pay a lot in the coming days. Black returns home excited, and Holly welcomes him happily, though she worries when she sees a cut on his head. After that, they sit together, looking up at the moon. But they get into an argument when Black asks her, "Are you even real?" She answers, "Just because people can't see or hear me doesn't mean I'm not real." He apologizes right away and tells her he needs her with him. They get close in a romantic moment, but just then, one of Black's friends snaps a picture of them. Black tries to take the camera from him, but the guy runs off. Holly tells him not to worry, because she won't appear in the picture anyway. The next morning, she sees her photo with Black Wolf in the newspaper, but this time the picture only shows a shadow. Later, a press conference is held between Black and the fighter he'll be facing. The fighter is extremely arrogant and tells him he'll destroy him in the match. The man leaves and gets into his car, and Holly slips in with him without being noticed. She discovers that he's connected to Antocasser and threatens to expose him if he doesn't lose to Black Wolf. When the match begins, Black Wolf easily defeats the fighter. Later, Holly goes to the journalist who publishes her scoops and tells him to run the story that the world boxing champion, Tommy, has agreed to fight Black Wolf. But the journalist refuses to publish anything without proof, so she pressures him and threatens to stop giving him exclusives and instead hand them to a rival paper. He ends up publishing the story. Holly then goes to Tommy's house looking for anything she can use to blackmail him into accepting the challenge against Black Wolf, but she finds nothing. After that, she visits her sister, who is crying because she just found out she's pregnant and doesn't want to tell her husband. Holly heads to the casino and finds Juliana with Black. She's stunned when she sees them together. Black realizes at that moment that Holly is watching him. She walks away angrily, and Black follows her outside trying to calm her down. She tells him she never expected to find him with Juliana and feels betrayed. He tells her he thinks she's incredibly beautiful, but she isn't real to the world, and he can't marry her because people would think he's insane. She tells him she did everything for him, and that she couldn't find any dirt on Tommy to force him to lose the match like she had done with every other fighter Black had faced. As soon as he hears that, he gets furious and tells her to leave him and stay away, insisting they can't be together anymore. Holly returns to her old life, taking photos of celebrities and selling them for good money. She later sees on the news that Black and Juliana are back together. One day she hears a knock on her door, and when she opens it, she finds Black. He tells her that his life didn't fall apart because of the picture she took, but because he had been selfish, poorly disciplined, and even cheated in his fights. That's why he lost his marriage to Juliana and why his career fell apart. Holly moves closer to him, but he steps back. He admits he loves her, but says he can't stay with her and is going back to Juliana. He tells her she needs to make peace with herself and accept her mother's death before she can return to a normal life. She becomes furious, kicks him out, and he leaves her a ticket to his upcoming match. Holly looks in the mirror but can't see her reflection like before, realizing her life has become even worse. She goes to Black's training center and knocks on the door so he'll see her, but he can't see or hear her at all. She tries to get his attention with no success, and becomes even angrier when she sees Juliana with him at the gym. Black asks Juliana if she came back to him because he started winning again and became famous, but she doesn't give him a clear answer. Feeling heartbroken and scared that her life will stay like this forever, Holly goes to her sister's house to help her tell her husband about the pregnancy, since she never wanted children. Holly accidentally drops the basket with the pregnancy test inside, and when the husband sees it, he realizes his wife is pregnant and becomes overjoyed. Holly then goes to her brother Troy's room and watches the films he makes. She realizes he likes a girl but can't admit it to her, so she decides to help. When she sees the girl walking past their house, Holly makes her trip and falls so Troy will rush to help her. Once she's sure they've met, Holly leaves them and walks away. She sits beside her father, wondering why he never remarried. She learns that he still loves her mother and refuses to be with anyone else. That's when Holly understands that her mother's death affected the whole family, not just her. But she was the only one who shut herself off from everyone. From that moment, she decides to change her life and the way she thinks. She takes out the ticket Black left for her and decides to attend his match. She walks through the crowd until she reaches the cage where he's fighting. She cheers him on, but he still can't see or hear her. When he falls to the ground, Holly enters the cage and stands beside him, urging him to get up and keep fighting. When he opens his eyes, he can see her again, and this time, everyone else can see her too. Security moves in to escort her out, but she realizes that everyone can finally see and hear her. The match ends with Black Wolf losing. He rushes out of the cage to catch Holly before she leaves. He tells security to let her go because she's with him. He approaches her and tells her he's decided to stay with her for the rest of his life, marry her, and never leave her again. Some time later, Holly goes home and reunites with her father. When he sees her, he recognizes her immediately and hugs her tightly. And that brings us to the end of our movie. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe.